G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is my Christmas tree and you are seeing a selection of some of my favorite ornaments. They're not all of them, but there are a lot of them. I really love these ornaments. I love my whole Christmas tree. I love Christmas in general, so this is perfect. I wanted to show you a couple of them that I ended up putting on a printable or a download. There's also a silhouette print and cut file because that's what I wanted to use, so I put that in there as well. It's at the end of Merry Mix Media 2022, which I'm going to talk about before we even start this video. So if you haven't seen it, it'll be linked in the description box below. I have finally managed to get Merry Mix Media 2022 up. It is a free mini Christmas workshop that I just like to offer every year as a big thank you to being a part of my creative community and the creative community at large in art journaling and wherever you find yourself. I really want to say thank you, and that's my way of having gratitude, showing gratitude, being grateful that you're here and that you engage with all of this content and that you're a part of all of this, because it doesn't happen without you, right? So I wanted to do that again this year. We had a bit of a hiccup, first with the juggle struggle. I've been dealing with being a dancer again and working at Disneyland and then trying to manage my job on top of that. I ended up getting it scheduled a lot more days than I anticipated, so all the time I thought I had to work on things, I didn't. I was actually at Disneyland working, so even though I loved that, my business here didn't love that so much, so I had to find pockets of time where I could, strategize and figure out the course, and then I had to find a whole day that I could just film non-stop. So we finally got all that done, and then I went to go and publish the course, and it said I had to upgrade to publish. I was like, that's not right. I've always been able to publish unlimited amount of courses on Teachable. It was kind of like the reason I joined in the beginning was this. On that plan, it would take care of all of the back office financial stuff with taxes and everything, and then it would also be unlimited courses. So I felt like I could really grow my they say school. I don't see it as a school per se, but that's the language. So I could grow my school that way. So yeah, we've done lots of like whimsical illustration, memory to memento, like 7 virtual voyages. I got tons of courses on there. Sorry, my congestion's getting me. I also got by the way, Dr. Google thinks this is a deviated septum, but I don't want to hear it in the comments. I really appreciate it, but if you're not a doctor that's going to give me free surgery on it, we just have to deal with it. I don't have the luxury of waiting for my nose to be decongested anymore. That's like the whole thing that I'm struggling with, is that I usually used to wait until I was like fully clear-headed before I would start filming, and recently it's just all been about my allergies. So I know it's frustrating you, I'm so sorry, but it's either this or nothing. It's just music, and I don't want to just do music videos right now. Or ever, really. I like to chat. Anyway, back on topic. Teachable was like, no, you have to upgrade. So I opened a ticket with customer support because I thought maybe it was just glitching or something. And then they told me, no, we're not honoring that legacy basic plan anymore, because they've switched it. I've been on there for 4 years. They've switched the plans by the time, like years. They've just been changing everything, especially over the pandemic. They started like really knuckling down on the services because everyone was turning online. So, I felt like squeezed for a buck, and it was just not a nice pill to swallow either, because originally, like, my plan I think cost about $300 per year for the thing that I've been using. Now I get no more extra benefits than I've ever had before. I just had to switch to a pro plan to be able to publish unlimited courses, which is a thing I already had, and now it's $1,200 a year. So that was a massive jump to my overhead costs for that. I need the platform, so there's absolutely no way I could get around it anyway. So I just bit the bullet and did it. But and that's not to say I wasn't happy to do it. I really wanted to get Merry Mix Media out, that's why I did it. But yeah, it was just, I felt like my hands were tied a little bit. I felt like it was kind of a shady thing to do, to be like, yeah, we're just not honoring your plan anymore. But such is life, it's business. I really don't want to hold on to any kind of bad feelings about it. I'm just going to accept it and move on. But that's what also delayed it as well, because that was the worst part, because I was like, I finally got this finished and now I can't publish it. Like, it won't go live. So anyway, it's live. I'll link it in the description box below. That printable is at the end of it as well. And also at the end of it, it's the Nutcracker themed as well, because I thought Christmas, dancing, Nutcracker, there you go. Kind of tells my story of Christmas this year. But it's also graded in levels of difficulty. This is kind of explained in the welcome video as well, but the first lesson is kind of like anyone could do it and have some good success. The second lesson is a bit more intermediate, a bit more skill, but I think everyone can still do it. The third one is like using a lot of implied knowledge. So if you've done a lot of my workshops before, I'm using the fact that you've done that to know what I'm talking about, and we just kind of power through it and do something a bit more advanced. So I've kind of graded them that way because I am curious to know, if there is a space out there that would make sense for me to create tutorials and workshops for a more advanced student. Because that's the thing, like if you've got a bunch of skill, I don't think people are really looking for workshops where, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Actually, this is why I'm testing it. I just don't know if I've seen that before, if I've seen workshops that cater to someone who would have a lot of implied knowledge already and have a good bit of skill already, and to see where we could push it from there. Because I factor in when I teach, speaking to people who maybe are just beginning or just starting, or people who have done it for a while but maybe are still working on some confidence. Like, I know I've had people that have got a lot of skill before do the lessons and they just kind of take it at their own pace and go and do other stuff as well, like kind of embellish the teaching a bit, which is I really like to see that as well. But I was just curious. So anyway, that's all that. But at the end of the course, there is a $50 coupon as well. And I don't really do sales or anything. So this is something that I just want to make sure is there, because this is kind of like, for anyone who's asked, like, oh, I want to do workshops, but they're just a little too expensive for me, or I'm going to save my money for whatever, or I'm waiting for a sale. For anyone who's asked for these things, this is the time to do that. It does expire at the end of December, or like midnight when it turns to January, New Year's Eve, like right on the dot. It'll expire then, so use it before then. It's $50 value. Which means like all the other, and you can use it multiple times as well. So you don't have to use it once. If you want to buy if you want to buy Virtual Voyage 1 and Virtual Voyage 2, you can use it both times. And you can also use it on courses. The only thing you can't use it on is Collage Club, because that's a subscription, not a workshop. But like the concept stamping course, the workshop, the value of that is less than $50, so it will actually just become free. The playtest Patreon packages that are on there from years ago, those are also on there, and that coupon would bring that down to be free. So if you're just looking to get into some of those workshops as well, those are essentially free for you, and you can use the coupon multiple times. So now is your chance to sign up for all of that, because I only really do that around Christmas when I'm feeling super generous. But yeah, enjoy that if you want to. Have a great time. I've loved what you've shared with me so far. Speaking of like randomly Patreon, I am planning to do a playtest Patreon 3 starting in January. I've got things figured out on my end, but I'm not ready to share anything just yet. It is going to be very loosey-goosey, very playtime. Very like, if you remember what those playtests were, they essentially helped me build the framework for what became Virtual Voyages, but Virtual Voyages are so themed. Playtest Patreon was like, anything was going on and it was fine. So I'm going to try and look into that experience again, and I think I want to run it for 3 months. Playtest 3 months. But yeah, I'll share more about that later. The only difference is I won't be doing a happy mailer tier this time. Just something I wanted to avoid, especially early in the new year. Manufacturing times get really skewed and crazy. So yeah, that is something I'm not going to be offering this time, but all of the other content that we've done before, we're looking at new ways to kind of spin it. Steve wants to be a lot more involved as well, so expect some photography in there, I guess. But yeah, that's all TBD. This, did I even explain what this video is? It's fully finished. It was very self-explanatory. It's my favorite Christmas ornaments, and I used the to and from stickers, the labels that you'd put on presents, to do all my journaling. But I just wanted to kind of remember where they came from, maybe even what year they came. Actually, I don't put any years on them, but like the story behind how we bought them, or why they're special, or my thoughts about them and everything. I wanted to just document that. I've drawn them before, but this is one where I feel like this would be a really fun activity if you had kids, or if you were going to do this with your own Christmas tree. I mean, a lot of my Christmas tree growing up was very sentimental. Like every ornament really had a story. So I wanted to kind of bring that to my Christmas tree now, because we have a lot of ornaments that have a lot of story to them. And so I just wanted to document that, and I felt like this would be a great way to do it. Just a bit of paint, a lot of artsy, craftsy glitter glue. That's body glitter glue, by the way. Got it on Amazon. I just love it. It's like chunky glitter. Those little light crystals, little string light crystals, that Mickey. I just love it. I love the whole thing. But this is my art journal spread. Give it a go if you want to and let me know how you get on. Otherwise, have fun in Merry Mix Media. I'll see you again soon. Bye.